Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings.
Hi campers, hope you're all doing well. Well, you may not have been camping, but I went camping. We went to the alpaca camp, which is based near or in Lewis, and it was really good fun. I met the owner, Philip, who came round several points just to make sure that everyone was happy. Did they need anything? Just told us where we could walk to the pub. You know, obviously everyone needs that priority, don't they? Walking distance to the nearest pub. So we stayed for a couple of nights. We didn't have the dogs. You can't go somewhere like an alpaca camp really with our two dogs. There were people in the field opposite, you know, they had some yappers going off, but my two with being hounds, it would just be a nightmare. They'd get one sniff of a rabbit or a goose or something and it'd just be chaos. Tents would be everywhere. There were lots of other animals there. He has some llamas over the other side. Did not know the difference between a llama and an alpaca until I saw them. They've also got a resident camel, but he was actually hiding, I think, on a couple of times we took a walk. There are some resident geese here, which you can see, who loved my husband. They look like they're attacking him, but they're not. He used to speak to them, good morning, good afternoon, ladies. They loved my husband so much that when he tried to walk away, they followed him. Adorable, see? I married the Pied Piper of geese. Now that's enough about me. Let's get on to the subject why you're really here. They have got an unbelievable cheek. Yes, absolutely outstanding. The brass neck on these two. After everything that they have done to the royal family, to the Queen, and they are now asking or demanding, knowing them, to come over and have an audience with her. One can only presume it's because they want some more money. They need material for Netflix. They're trying to push the Queen into doing a royal christening at Windsor. I mean, they're absolutely entitled to come over, and if they want to have their child christened at Windsor, then they can do so. But I hope the Queen stipulates, if you would like me to meet my great-great-grandchild who you've named after me, then absolutely no press, no media, everyone will be patted down. So no recordings, nothing. If they truly want it to be about getting their daughter christened and the Queen being there, then they should have no problems with that. Needless to say, whatever reasons that they give for their intentions, why they're coming over, I think we all can guess it's going to be very self-serving. And it's not just the UK where their popularity has plummeted. In the USA, as the fallout from Oprah, as the truth started unravelling and more things were actually proven that, well, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true, and they told big fat whopping lies, I think a few of the people that initially thought, oh, those poor little dears, were like, you lying little wretches. Needless to say, and I'm taking a guess here, that it's not exactly panning out the star-studded red carpet Met Gala fantasy life that they wanted, or rather that she convinced Harry he could have. Especially after not being invited to the Obama's birthday celebrations. They didn't get invited to the big events, to the little lunches, to the little pre-dinners. Nada, nothing. So we all know in Hollywood, if you didn't get invited to that sort of event, you're out of favour, really. I mean, even Chrissy Teigen got an invite. The only reason why they convinced the Queen to give them the titles is purely because if they'd have gone to the USA like Meghan has always intended, you wouldn't really have got far just Meghan, Harry's wife. Prince Harry might have got in for a few little parties and stuff and she could have been his +1, but it wouldn't have quite had the star-selling quality as the Duchess of Sussex. Still makes me gag being a person that lives in Sussex, just really irritates me. It has been one big swizz, one big con. When you think now reports have come out that Oprah and Meghan were originally trying to do a get-together interview back, I think it was either before the wedding or just after the wedding, as far back as 2018. In 2019, it turned out that Harry and Meghan presumably were in on meetings with a streaming platform to try and get them to sign with them. I'm guessing that Quibi, I think that's what they were called at the time, didn't have the sort of figures that Meghan and Harry needed at the time to jump ship. Harry also lied to the Queen about the me that you can't see. Yes, this has been in work since 2018, 2019 again, pretty much when they got married with Oprah. And obviously because he was a working royal then, it had to get signed off by the Queen, you know, him working with Oprah. And he lied to her. He told her the me you can't see was going to be all about veterans, their mental health, how they cope. And what did we have? We had Harry talking about him. It was just one big narcissistic pity party and completely tone deaf given everything that the world is going through in the last couple of years with this worldwide bug. Then you got the whole story that they initially spun, which actually got the people that supported them. They wanted a private life away from the fishbowl of media interest. They wanted Archie to grow up as a private citizen. They only want to do humanitarian work and charitable efforts. And all the people went, oh, it's a real love story. It's a real princess story. Then the following week, they send a massive, huge statement to the Queen, making a list of demands for their exit. In fact, since they've left, all they've done is completely attack the monarchy, which has just been outstanding to the levels that they have stooped to, the things that they've said, and the fact that they've never ever once put the brakes on. In fact, the more the Queen told them no from anything to demands, not being able to have royal security, and all the other diva antics that they've pulled, the worse their accusations got. And this is one of the many things that has always bugged me with this Oprah interview. All of the leaks from friends, from PR, from sources close to the couple, finding freedom. Why does no one question the fact that none of their recent accusations came out in any of the leaks? You're telling me that none of that stuff would have come out. They have been leaking like a broken tap since the day the big Sandringham summit where the Queen said, no, you can't have everything that you want. Now, I have a theory about this, and I think that the big Oprah interview, the reason why we hadn't heard about all that stuff before was because they, like a bunch of witches, and Oprah included here, decided to get their cauldron out, and they were like, right, okay, well, Harry and Meghan haven't quite made the splash that they intended to do when they arrived in LA, and obviously what was going on with the worldwide bug. They were getting pushed down the news by world events and various things that were going on. So what can they do to get themselves at the top of the headlines? They came together to basically orchestrate this absolute shitstorm of accusations, which was guaranteed to have worldwide coverage. It would earn Meghan and Harry another sort of like bunch of support coming in, people that felt sorry for them. And this, I think, is a manipulation that they definitely used against people. You think about the subjects that they brought up: suicide, mental health, racism, not just what Meghan faced, but people being racist towards a baby or an unborn child. I mean, those subjects alone are going to trigger people. You can see that they picked all these different areas that a lot of people have suffered from, a lot of people have been through, and they're all manipulating tactics as far as I'm concerned. It's like when you think of Harry, he's getting bad press. What does he do? He wheels out his medals. He tries to do something to do with the military. That might have worked for him when he was likeable. Doesn't work for him now. I have it firsthand from lots of people that are even still in the military that he is not liked. He does not have any credibility left, and there are a lot of people are actually really disgusted of how he's treated his family and especially his grandmother. I watched the media narrative change. I watched their story change from when they were just leaving because they didn't want to be part of the royal family anymore to when it was all racism. Meghan was, she was treated badly because she was biracial. Harry was treated badly because he married a biracial woman. It was race card, race card, race card. In between, Diana, my wife is going to be killed like Diana. My wife is going to go through this like Diana. And even the words and everything that Meghan used, it's like she actually thought she was Diana, actually citing some of the very same sentences that Diana herself had said throughout her course of breaking up with Charles, the divorce, and that Martin Bashir interview. Once those cards pretty much expired, that's when a lot of the mental health stuff then started coming in. And the worst bit about them talking about mental health, they've never once ever seemed to have thought or taken on board the mental health of the Queen. 95 years old, recently just lost her husband, her rock of 73 years. And this is when that they decided to go nuclear. Now, forget the fact that they are the royal family. I'm going to tell this with a slightly different twist. So picture this. You've got a 90 to 93-year-old woman. She spent her entire life building up this fantastic company and she still works for it now. Her family work in there. She still at her age is pretty much the director of the company. She has a favourite grandson. who finally, after years of being unsettled and a bit of a playboy, a bit mischievous, finally met his perfect woman. The whole family, including the grandmother, took this woman under their wing. They protected her, they elevated her, they gave her a position in the company that a lot of people had to wait a number of years to get that sort of advancement to. The grandmother wanted to make sure that she was on board with his new wife despite not knowing her for very long. She gave her grandson and his new wife a mansion, £1 million wardrobe, luxurious holidays all around the world. She let them have a team of their own staff, even let the wife pick certain areas of the company that she wanted to work, that she felt that she could give back to.
The grandmother literally
Gave in to her every whim to make sure that they were happy, to make sure that they would settle in. Then one day out of the blue, this 93-year-old grandmother gets a phone call from a member of her staff, not even the grandson himself, saying, "We've got 10 minutes. They've quit. They're not coming back. They've quit the company. They don't want to be part of it anymore." But they are literally telling the entire world, not us, not privately, but the actual media. They've done a statement of their own and they're going to tell the world in 10 minutes. The pressure alone that probably put on a 93-year-old woman. And it turned out it wasn't just a resignation, it was a list of demands. Despite everything the grandmother has given and provided for her son and his new wife and their one child, the couple demanded that despite that they were quitting, they wanted to keep every single perk and benefit that they had being part of the grandmother's company. They wanted to keep the houses, the staff. They wanted to keep all of the extras. They wanted their expenses paid for. They still wanted their salaries. And they also even wanted to set up a rival company under that same name in the USA to make lots of money, but under the guise of it being a charity. So with suitcases full of cash and lots of money that they had stashed away, that the grandmother had given them to bless them on their merry way, a year passes, and in that time, all the grandson and wife have done have complained and throw accusations at the company, at the people in the company, at the staff, at the grandmother's other family members.
even at the grandmother herself.
They didn't do this directly to the grandmother. No, they did not want to do any of this privately. They ensured every single complaint that they had was leaked to the media. So not only was the grandmother just waking up every day,
worrying about the health of her 98, 99-year-old husband who had been in and out of hospital while this was all going on.
she had to pick up the newspaper or turn on the TV and have thousands of people all around the world commenting on every single thing. She and her family and all of the staff have had to deny these accusations. They've had people all around the world attack them, believing that all of these accusations are true, which are completely unfounded
And have since been proven to be mostly lies.
Despite pleas for it all to be handled privately and in a family matter, they just kept going and going and going. Didn't matter that the grandfather was dying. Didn't matter when the grandfather had passed on. The public were fed continuous information about how the firm, the family were racist. They were cold, they were cruel, they were evil. And the poor couple only survived as they managed to escape from the evil queen and all her evil minions. The prince and the princess escaped on the back of a flying unicorn cat to the kingdom of LA. Now, obviously, I'm taking the piss towards the end of that, but that's what I mean. They are complete fantasists. They have rewritten history, and you've seen Meghan do this with her own history. Her dad paid for all of her university fees. No, she's told the world now that she had to do it by working really hard at several jobs. Meghan rewrote her Wikipedia to go from that she was a model and an actress to say that she was a humanitarian and an activist. Literally weeks before meeting Prince Harry. Please see my other videos that I've done on this. You would not believe the things that she changed in the build-up to actually snagging Harry. But Harry is now doing the same. We all know that Harry's had problems. We know that he and Charles, came to clashes, especially when he was a teenager and in his early 20s. That's pretty normal, to be fair. Lots of teens and 20-year-olds clash with their parents and they finally settle down. They've got so caught up in all these fictional lies and changing history to get this kind of victim narrative, they can't even keep up with their own storyline. I mean, we saw on Oprah, they couldn't even keep their story straight between the two of them. But to have done what they've done to the Queen over the past year, to attack her, to basically, everything that I've just said, to then name their daughter after her and then say we want her christened with you there, it doesn't make sense, does it? It does not add up. Even in August, it was Meghan's birthday, so she did a piss take. I'm sorry, but as most people are aware, she did that video with Melissa McCarthy. It was a piss take all to do with the royal family sitting there drinking tea. You know, Melissa McCarthy all dressed up in a garden tea dress with a hat, with gloves like the Queen does. You know, that's very recently. This isn't them saying let's patch things up. I mean, they've got a bloody cheek to even say that. They've not stopped attacking the Queen, and even Harry's memoirs, which are coming out, some say Christmas now, but the year of the Queen's Jubilee, are going to be more stories attacking his family because Harry's rewriting his history. He's got to, because we've heard everything else. So he's now got to make up stuff to make that book sellable. Those publishers are going to want their pound in flesh. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, because some people are going to believe it regardless. And that's one of the most awful things that they have done to the Queen. Whilst lots of us have seen their behaviour and we've read the fact that, you know, so many things have been proven to be lies, there are a lump of people out there that now think that the Queen, the firm, the royal family are these really, truly awful people. But then saying that, you've got people that think The Crown and the Lifetime films are reality. And I just really hope that that is a small number of people. The Crown is not real. The Lifetime movies are not real. And that's the worst thing. They threw these accusations out there, and there's always going to be people that say there's no smoke without fire, despite the fact that most of their claims have been completely debunked. You've got years of history of Catherine and William and Charles and Camilla and the Queen, how they've treated people, and you've got a very short period, very short, of Harry and Meghan's time in the royal family. An awful lot of drama only seemed to happen in that very short time that the actress was part of it. It's all drama. It's all manipulation. It's all to get people to feel sorry for them. And people are getting bored of feeling sorry for them. And more people feel sorry for the Queen and the royal family. So lots of people are now flabbergasted that they've got the sheer audacity to ask for a meeting with the Queen. I have read that these requests are going unanswered and the Queen is unsure about it. And that's a really sad state of affairs. And let's be realistic. If she does meet with them, they're probably going to have to be patted down for recording equipment. Do I think they'd go that low? Yes. Yes, I do think that they would go that low. Anyway, guys, I will be back with you very, very soon. I'm working on another video. It's a bit of a mishmash because there's lots of stuff going on, some positive, some negative with other members of the royal family. So I hope to see you guys very, very soon. Take care for now. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.